Hello. Have you ever wondered where Ithaca College really came from? It may surprise you to learn that when it was founded in 1892, the Ithaca Conservatory of Music wasn't on South Hill, but in the heart of downtown Ithaca itself. This is the first of two videos exploring the roots of Ithaca College. Joining me in narrating these films will be Dr. Mary Arlen, an IC alumna and former professor of music at IC. Welcome to another episode of Ithaca College, Then and Now.
The Ithaca Conservatory of Music taught its first classes in the day house at 403 East Seneca Street in 1892. For the next few years, the college moved its headquarters several times, from the West Block in 1893 to the Wilgus Opera House, now the location of Center Ithaca, from 1894 to 1905, and then back to the West Block from 1905 to 1908.
In 1911, the conservatory purchased 120 East Buffalo Street, next to DeWitt Park. This block became the center of the downtown campus. The Boardman House, built in 1866 on land bought from Ezra Cornell, became the college's headquarters, housing the music conservatory until 1931, and then serving as the administrative and academic building for the college through 1965. Boardman House was at the center of campus activities, hosting classes upstairs and a snack bar in the basement.
After the administration moved to Job Hall in 1965, the college retained ownership of Boardman House for a while longer. In May 1966, the Boardman House was refurbished as the Ithaca College Art Museum. The college sold Boardman House to the county in 1969, and today it is in private hands and used for offices.
If there's something familiar about Boardman House, it's because traces of its design are right under your nose. The styling on the columns in IC Square copy the scrollwork and X pattern on the columns of the Boardman House porch.
Behind Boardman House was Conservatory Hall, or the Little Theater, which was built in 1913 and demolished by Tompkins County when the college left the downtown campus. The music and theater departments had to share the limited stage space, making the process of putting on a performance a complicated juggling act. Today, almost nothing is left of the Little Theater, save some stones on the ground that marked the building's entrance, and the scarring on the back of Boardman House where the two buildings touched.
Conservatory and college music students performed at various other venues too. The Lyceum Theater, where City Hall now stands, hosted performances until 1913. The music school used the old Congregational Church, now St. Catherine's Greek Orthodox Church, on West Seneca Street from 1959 to 1965.
Next to the Little Theater was the administrative annex, which housed some of the college's offices. The annex was adjacent to the Little Theater, which was connected to the Boardman House, allowing people to move between the two buildings. Like the Little Theater, the annex was demolished and almost no trace of it exists today.
Across from Boardman House, at 123 East Buffalo Street, was a building that served as the college's library in the 1930s and later housed other administrative offices, including the registrar. This building has been demolished, and a bank drive-through has taken its place. Located catty-corner behind Boardman House was another annex, a two-story L-shaped building built in 1950 for classroom space. It was demolished after the college moved to South Hill, and today only a parking lot marks where it once stood. Next door to Boardman House was the library, which the college built in 1953. In 1957, the college added a second floor to the library to accommodate the radio and TV program, which remained there until it moved to the newly built Dillingham Center in 1969. The library and radio TV building is still there, though it is now county property.
Up Cayuga Street from DeWitt Park was the Gossman House, which was where IC's Department of Music was located from 1933 until it moved to Ford Hall in 1965. Today, the old Tompkins County Public Library, which was built in 1968 and used until 1999, is where the Gossman House once stood.
Behind the Gossman House was the so-called Radio Shack, where the college radio program was located until it moved to the second floor of the library in 1957. This building suffered the same fate as the music building. and no trace of it survives today.
The Department of Physical Therapy used a surplus World War II Army laboratory building that was reassembled at 402 East Buffalo Street, where the terrace apartments now stand. The Crescent Theater on Aurora Street was used by the college as the women's gymnasium from 1946 to 1965. The Star Theater on East Seneca Street was the home of the Seneca Streeters, IC's basketball team from 1921 to 1965.
Today, the Tompkins Trust Company drive-thru sits on the site of the Star and Temple Theaters. While much of the downtown campus has been demolished, some of it is still there for students and alumni to see and enjoy. If you have any memories or experiences you'd like to share about the downtown era, please post them in the comments section of this video, so we can preserve this foundational period in the college's history. This has been another episode of Ithaca College, Then and Now. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.